Thank you everyone who has come to the publisher pitch. Special thanks, of course, to the publishers who have come. And I believe we have one publisher as well, yes, online. Thank you so much, Marina, for joining us. Thank you to all the teams who have come here to pitch. And wow, there are like a lot of people. So some are actually interested in just listening. All right. So how the pitch will be organized. Every single team has 3 minutes to do their pitch. You will not be interrupted during your pitch, but when you're going over time, I will show you a sign. I will show you a sign when there's only 1 minute left, and then when there is 0. And around 0, well, you have to, stop. And then 3 minutes will be dedicated for questions and answers. So the order in which the teams are going by the presenters that have been mentioned and that have sent in their pitches are Andrejs Kļaviņš will go first, then Christopher Legetsky, then Cristina Pavlovich, then Maruščak, okay, then Marijus Skrupskas, then Mārtiņš Avots, then Mārtiņš Runkulis, and then Rodion Zanevic. So those will be the teams, the people that will do the pitch. So the pitch is done from here. You will be able to see your presentations there. And without further ado, let's start. Andrejs Kļaviņš, please come on the stage and tell me when you are ready to start your pitch.
So this is the clicking device, right?
Yeah, this is the clicking.
I click forward and it goes forward.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I am ready to start.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
All right, good afternoon, dear audience. I'm today here to pitch to you our PC detective game, The Case of the Golden Idol. We started building this game at the start of this year with the assumption that currently there are very few deduction games in the market, namely narrative-rich games with unique game mechanics where players are supposed to figure out what's going on their own with little hand-holding. And so we set out to build our game, which effectively could be named as Return of the Obra Dinn meets classical retro pixel art point-and-click adventure game. The gameplay of the game shortly is as follows. You play scenarios. In each scenario, you arrive at a place of mysterious death in the 18th century, and you start gathering clues, observing evidence. Once you've figured out things, you input these clues to form sentences, which form the solution and reveal what's going on. And the game really takes off once players realize that all the scenarios are actually linked together and there's a larger story to be discovered. So that's about the game. In terms of audience, yeah. So target audience and market. Primarily our audience are people who enjoyed Return of the Obra Dinn, the deduction game, because there is no like experience in the market since the game. However, we've discovered in our tests that retro adventure game enthusiasts actually respond very positively to our game, even though the gameplay is a bit different. And here are some numbers about sales of similar lookalike products. Okay, let's move onward. So, what we've done so far. We're in the phase of validation of interest. We've built a Steam demo version and we're participating in the Steam Next festival. Next week, we've shown the game to the author of the Return of the Obra Dinn, Lucas Pope, and he really loved it. And we've been gathering for 1.5 months Steam wish lists. We've gathered only 300, which is not that much. At the same time, I'd say our conversion rate is pretty good, yeah, from 800. So assuming it's scalable, it could have potential. Very shortly about our company. I mean, I'm going to be super short. The two people, me and my brother, this is studio's first game. However, we both have 10 years experience in the industry. My greatest achievement was launching a game Oceania 10 years ago, which was the most successful social network game in Latvia at that moment. Yeah, let's move to the final slide. So yeah, our future plans and needs. Firstly, yeah, we built the demo. Now we want to validate the interest in this product. Build a full version, and yeah, we're interested in marketing. We're considering production funding. So yeah, thanks for your attention, and I welcome questions.
Right. Any questions from the publishers?
Yeah, actually, I would like to ask, if you don't mind. Hello. I wanted to check, guys, about what kind of markets are you interested in right now?
So currently our focus is a Steam PC player, I'd say over 30-year age group market, which by estimation of the more successful lookalike products could be up to 2 million people or something of the sort. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so you had a question.
Do you plan to grow your team? Hire some more members?
We will have to grow it or at least outsource some of the efforts. For instance, we want to have high quality audio and composed music. At the moment, it's all placeholders. At this stage, I would say in terms of production, we don't need to grow it because the game is technically very simple. But yeah, if it takes off and if we see potential, we're happy to grow the team. But I don't expect it to grow much at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a question. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Great game. And just a question about what do you think will be your near future biggest problems to overcome?
My immediate kind of risk, I would say, that I assess is one that its value proposition is a bit unclear and potentially unique, like it doesn't have clearly defined genre, so it's more difficult to target people or to explain to them what the game is about. So reaching people, messaging could be a challenge. This is one thing that I'd say. Another thing is in terms of its how viral it can become, because it's not replayable. It's a story-based kind of figure things out and that's it game. Would it appeal for influencers? Not sure. The lack of replayability might be an issue. So these are kind of risks that I foresee.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, thank you so much, Andres, for your presentation. And next up, we have Kristofers Legetskis. Tell me when you're ready to start.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. So, my name is Kristofers, and I'm going to talk about Lorne Vale, the game we're making. In a nutshell, Lorne Vale is an real-time action shooter mixed with tavern management elements in a crazy desert environment with like influences from Conan the Barbarian. And it has three big aspects of the game. The tavern building, the travel side where your bounty hunters travel, and the combat. The tavern is where the game starts off, where you place different pieces and build up your tavern brick by brick. These items that you place influence who then comes to your tavern. And bounty hunters are the your muscle, your bread and butter, which come generated randomly with different traits and stats and can differ wildly. Like you might have a weak but skilled long-range sniper or someone who just dashes and throws around your enemies and in a gruesome fashion. Aside from the mercenaries that you hire, you also will attract contract givers, which give you contracts to hunt down different targets in the desert, or traders, where you can offload your earned loot, or other characters that might glean you into the universe. So when you get a contract from one of these characters, you can negotiate with your mercenaries, and they will ask for a cut, and then off they go to the travel part of the game, where they explore the desert, they find different locations which might have hidden treasures, but their primary objective is to find their target and kill him. The combat is real-time action, very high stakes, very meaty, where you throw around your enemies, and hopefully pretty good. Peppered around the game are different events where you and your tavern is tested, and you have to make different decisions. Here's currently our timeline and milestones. Currently, we are creating a very baseline prototype of the game, and in a few weeks, we hope to send out the demo to different places. We are planning to release the game afterwards on Steam as a one-time purchase, and then continue supporting it with content. We're a team of two. I'm the artist, Roland is the programmer, and that's in essence the game. You can contact me or walk up to me and ask to play the very rough prototype afterwards if you want. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being precisely on time. And questions? No questions from no one? If not, yeah.
Okay, what are you looking for?
We are looking for funding so we can ramp up the project speed and actually hit the, Steam early access deadline in a year, roughly so. Because currently we've worked on the game for roughly a year part-time. And so that's our primary focus, get funding from that for other things like sound and music, and extra is meant for content scaling and all that. We don't count marketing because it's a weakness, and we are also looking for help with marketing.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, then thank you so much, Christopher.
All right, thank you for your attention.
The next person presenting is Cristina Pavlovich. Is she here? Okay, so tell me when you are ready to start.
And I'm ready. My name is Cristina, and I'm going to tell you about a psychology and strategy card game I created, Salvation of Sanity. A little bit about me. I recently graduated my bachelor's and I got my product design degree, and this game was my thesis, and it went so well I decided to develop it even further. The reason why I created this game is because of stress. Stress is the body's biological reaction to a challenge, aimed to help us overcome it. But high levels of stress can cause emotional, behavioral, physiological changes, as well as acute and chronic stress. Stress is also known to cause diabetes, vegetative dystonia, and even heart diseases. So it's important to understand ways how to manage stress. And this is where Salvation of Sanity comes in. This game is aimed for ages 14 and up, from 1 to 8 players, and during the game you play out anxiety cards that describe the negative and unpleasant feelings that each of us has felt during some period of time. And during the game we have to overcome these by playing sanity cards, the healthy and helpful ways how we can overcome our unpleasant feelings. The goal of the game is to collect 7 sanity cards, and during the game each player gets 6 cards in their hand, and to collect the sanity cards you play them out during your turn. After each turn you take a card from the deck to fill your hand, but during your turn you can also play an anxiety card to your opponent, who then has to defeat this card. When the card is defeated, both played cards go to the discard pile, and the person who defeated this card gets to add a sanity card to their collection. This is one of the ways how the game could go. On the cards, there is a description, the topic, the feeling, the emotion, or action, which is also described lower on the card, as well as a description of what to do with the card and the value of it. Why is it a psychology card? Because it's based on actual psychology, stress management and cognitive behavioral therapy that helps us understand what are our negative feelings and how to deal with them positively and in healthy ways. This game has been tested by psychologists and game creators, as well as psychotherapists, well-known specialists in Latvia like Artūrs Miksons and Ednes Pūliņš. These specialists describe the game from a psychology standpoint of being gentle enough to help the players and not triggering them, as well as from the gameplay being fun and interesting. And by interesting, they meant that they could not even pay attention to the psychology part and the game would still be fun. During the testing, I obviously asked what they liked and what they disliked, as well as did they gain anything from the game. And one of my favorite feedbacks was about a player who got to know the game right before an exam, and on the exam day, they took their favorite Salvation of Sanity card with them, and it helped them calm down during the whole exam, which is amazing. So I also did a balance sheet of the whole project in a way if this would be a business, and in terms of that, the wholesale would be €14.09. In terms of marketing, these are the places that Salvation of Sanity can be found, as well as we're doing activities like participation in school events and lectures and so on. In conclusion, I would like to say that we are taught to take care of our physical health, but not our emotional health. So let's start taking care of our emotions and start doing it by playing a game. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can clap. So, questions?
So are you looking for a company that you will license out the game to, or the distributor or stores where to sell it? What is exactly you looking for?
For now, I'm looking for a distributor and someone with the tech that could print out the game. Manufacturer, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you said this is a stress game, and you had some results, but are you looking to have some actual medical results also, and even to look to get a certificate that this could really help on stress?
In terms of certification, from the psychologists that I collaborated with, they actually told me that this game is gentle enough that you could not even take it into a psychology place, because it's not meant for them. It's meant for the families, that you could play it in a family-friendly environment. Does that answer your question?
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask if you don't mind.
Yeah, of
Hi,
course.
I really like your game. It looks interesting to me. And actually, you mentioned TikTok, right? So are you collabing with any influencers, or are you thinking about the collaboration with TikTok influencers?
I have thought about it, yes, but I have not reached out to anyone yet. But that is
cool.
an idea.
Because it's very TikTokable content, I would say. It's really the one.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Just a quick thing I wanted to say before your pitch. Since we have very diverse games here, please do tell the platform you're pitching for. So I understand the first two were PC, and then we had a board game. So please, before your pitch, do tell the platform. So next up, we have Marek Maruschak. Sorry, every time.
No problem.
Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so hi, I'm Mark from Monitors Studio, and I would like to pitch you our game Everdream Valley. And Everdream Valley is a mix of various farming, crafting, sim, RPG and adventure mechanics in open world. With a very heavy focus on visuals that were influenced by Studio Ghibli art style. So, the player takes the role of 11-year-old kid who is going to spend his summer holidays with at his grandparents' house, farm. And our target, well, Switch PC, sorry, I forget about that. Our target audience is 18 to 30, but more than age, important for us is the game that they played before. And we are aiming for the audience of Animal Crossing, of Stardew Valley, of My Time in Portia, and also for the latest Zelda. Because the player not only can play on the farm, but also on the whole Untitled Valley, and he can heavily influence the look of the valley. Okay, the next. During the day, the player, who is represented by female or male characters, and the character can be customized, can do various things on the farm. He can breed animals, he can plant different plants, he can even replant every single plant in the whole valley, making very large poppy meadow, let's say, or dense and dark forests. He can go fishing and catch one of many fish species, and some of those species he can even put inside the aquarium in his treehouse, which he can build. And inside the treehouse he can also change furnitures, etc. He can, of course, also cook, craft, and build chicken coops and other types of buildings. But there is also the night, and when the player goes to sleep, strange things can happen. Because Everdream Valley is not your ordinary farm game. And it has pretty strange characters living in it. And one of it's a magical scarecrow who gives you ability to play as one of the animal on the farm. So you basically can not only pet every animal on the farm, but also play as every animal on the farm. And this example is a dog game when you are playing as a dog fighting with the wolves. And what was important, really important for us, it was that the gameplay during the night and the day influence each other. So if you build bad sheep pen, for example, or the strong one, you will have easier gameplay during, or harder gameplay during the night. Okay, so on this game, yeah, I need to end, finish, but please ask me questions.
Okay, am I on the microphone? So yes, again, Switch PC, right? The platform.
Yeah, probably we will be going on other consoles, but it depends on the deal with the publisher.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
How big is the team and what are you looking for?
yeah, we have 8 people working on that for more than a year. We have a demo. We will have a demo on the Steam in the next week. We are looking mostly for funding for marketing, because we are aiming for 100,000 sales in a PC, and probably also a big sales in the Switch, and the price that we aim for is probably about $20–25, so it's not the cheapest game, and we want to gather a strong team of YouTubers streaming that. It's pretty cool for stream because we have cute animals and you can fight with the geese, and you can make your own meadows and forests, so we have pretty good experience with that kind of marketing.
Any other questions?
What is the tech behind what kind of engine do you use?
Unity 3D.
Okay, and by open world you mean that it's changeable, not kind of open multiplayer?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
By open world you mean that it's changeable by a player, or you mean that it can be played by multiplayer?
No, it's not multiplayer. It's changeable by player, and he can access various biomes, but we are thinking, of course we are always thinking about adding multiplayer later. We have one of our investors in our company are Creepy Jar guys, and they added the co-op later. They have a survival game, and they added co-op later, and it was like a new like the new life for the game. So that was a cool thing.
So you're saying you're mainly looking for marketing help from a publisher.
Yeah, but it's important that it's money for the YouTubers, because that's not only the marketing help, like connecting with press, because we also have people that can do that. But of course, we would like to get help. But we know that if we are aiming for that kind of sales and on this level of price, we need to have YouTubers. And this is the experience from our previous endeavors and from the way my time in Portia and other kind of this genre was promoted. So yeah, so mostly for funding marketing.
Hey, a couple of questions. Like, so when you have the demo ready, for how many hours will you have playable content in it? And then, like, how would you describe what's a unique selling point for the game?
Okay, so maybe I will start from unique selling points. So first off, visuals. This is very important for us. And it's already pay off, because people are talking even on this event that, yeah, it's so cool, it's looking so cute, the animals are cute, can we pet them? So we added the petting of every animal, because they asked for the dog, but who cares? Let's go with all of the animals. So the visuals, the mini games with the dog and with the cat. I didn't manage to talk about that, but you can play fetch with your dog and give him a treat, and then he will level up, and he can help you with herding the sheep. You have this whistle, shepherd whistle, and he can find treasures on the map, and the cat could sense the sick animals, and that's already inside the game. So I'm not only talking, it's not only wishful thinking. The third unique selling point is mini games as an animals. And the mini games, as I said, is really immersive, because it's not some other scene with other sheep or with other chickens or with other geese. It's your chicken, it's your sheep, it's your geese, and if you lost the sheep, you will spend about an hour looking for it on the whole valley, because there's no death in the game, but managing to herd 20 sheep even with your dog is not that easy. It's quite skillful. And the second question was about the gameplay. Actually, we have about an hour and a half of like straight missions, but we probably won't be giving that forever on the Steam. We want to give 3 missions that will be about 20 minutes. And then during Steam Festival, there will be also sandbox. So if you go through the 3 missions, then you get access to the sandbox, and you can play about, I think, 20 other missions and just sandbox. And the sandbox things would be for sure withdraw after the Steam Festival, but we probably leave the 3 missions to just gather the wish list. The wish list is for the moment, I think, 6,000, something like that, but we didn't pay for any marketing yet.
Let's say you do need to pay for these YouTubers to do it.
Yeah.
Have you considered just going to a bank? Because you're just looking for easy money. Like, you're only looking for money at the moment, and not the whole package that a publisher could give. And it feels like a bank would give you a way better deal.
Well, not only, but from my experience, I was asked every time to give the amount that we are looking for, or for exactly we want to spend the money. So that's why I said that. But of course, as I said, the contact with the platform, for example, if for the Switch publisher, because we are not sure if we want only for like one publisher. We are thinking about different publishers on different markets, on different platforms. That is possibility. It all depends on the deal that we get. And for the Switch, if we are looking for publisher, the publisher also should have very good, the word. They need to know very good Nintendo, because if you know Nintendo, and if you have, for example, lots of games published, you can cross-promote in those games, etc. So I only said about the money for YouTubers because because the things I told you earlier. But yeah, the contact with the press are also important. We have the ability to port it ourselves to Switch, but if the publisher will go with that, have the stronger porting team than us, that's also the possibility to be included in the game. Some publishers also proposed us with giving, for example, some part of puzzle games to be included inside. One of them wanted to put inside their cooking, the cooking with Joy-Cons, etc. So we are open to different kind of deals, but that was something that I wanted to.
I'd love to give you some advice later about this
Great.
topic.
Okay,
Thank
but
you.
we should be probably moving on. And thank you for your talk. Next up,
Yeah.
we have So next up we have Marius Karupskis. Is he here? Marius? If he's not here, then we are moving on. Mārtiņš Avots. So please start by saying your platform and then doing the pitch.
Hi, yes. So to those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, Mārtiņš, working on a game for the PC.
Wait, are you
and
starting
consoles.
the pitch
No,
or
no,
just saying
just-
the platform?
I mean-
Getting an extra minute
There are no rules in
in
Love and
pitching,
War.
obviously.
All right, I'm starting now. Excuse me. So,
Well, could you say your platform, please?
I did. PC and console.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And now you're starting your pitch.
Yes, I am starting by.
Excellent.
Hello, I'm Mārtiņš. I am the producer at Sharp Raccoon, and we are currently working on a casual, creative, and chaotic arena brawler game. So, what we found is that in the genre of arena brawlers, there is a problem that people, even the games that are really, really good, they don't really play them for that long. They find them good, but 2 to 5 hours and they're done. On to the next one. And we're thinking, why is this? Well, that is what we think, is because the genre is so casual. You have to go into it and be immediately able to understand it and play it. That leaves you not with too much depth. So, enter Rules of Robots, a casual, creative arena brawler where you decide the rules of combat. And video, please. Sir. Okay, thanks. So how this works is you come into Rules of Robots as a first-time player, and you're immediately able to pick it up and play. You start a game mode, it's really fun, then you start a next one, it's really different from the previous one. And at some point you realize, well, the game tells you as well, by the way, that these are game modes made by other people, maybe even some of your friends who are playing Rules of Robots. So you go into it and you realize, I can do this better than my friends. I'm gonna have exploding toasters and disco, and it's all gonna be on a rocket. So you go and do that, and maybe that game mode you create and share with the online community is somebody else's first point of entry into the game. Currently in a state of alpha, visuals are temp. We're focusing on good gameplay first. We think that in a year, we are able to finish with a 2,000 euro budget. And for those who are maybe interested in working with us, there's a possibility for budget matching from innovation funds, because we are a Norwegian company, and they sometimes match money. That's a really good opportunity in my opinion. And we are looking for a publisher for the development budget, but actually for the fact that you guys have the experience of publishing a game, which is what we lack. We also do interactive Twitch streaming. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And questions?
Yeah, thank you. Quite often when you let the players decide on the gameplay and make those decisions, they actually don't enjoy that freedom, so they actually rather prefer doing those themselves and be guided. So have you encountered this, and how have you tackled this?
There's nothing forcing you on entering the creator mode of building stuff. You can infinitely play the game modes made by other people, and the fact that they will be rated by other players will automatically filter the best ones up top. So even you can go in and you create a really bad game mode. That's okay. You know, you made your idea. It's probably not that good. It's gonna fall to the bottom. So it's not gonna mess up other people's day so much. Yeah.
So how big of an audience have you tested this with, and have you encountered any of these kind of issues?
We've encountered people making very bad design choices, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, that's what the game allows you to do. Currently, we're just doing it by filtering those game modes out manually, because we are alpha. We're a new studio. We're not that big yet, so we can still do that. But yes, we want to automate that for sure.
And what are actually the rules that the players can modify?
So you want a list? Right now, it's not that big, but you can have your corpses to be exploding. You can change any player stat. You can change what weapons you're using, what kind of crazy events happen. Do bombs drop? Does this go on? Suddenly everything's pixelated. There's a ring of death coming in, like in those Battle Royale games. All kinds of dynamic blocks like portals and turrets and that kind of stuff. And there will be much, much more. We're really focusing on crispy and gameplay and all the solid like systems being in place first, and then just building on top of that.
All right, thanks.
And what about like online multiplayer and matchmaking?
Yes, so right now we have local play and online multiplayer, which is just a free-for-all server browser. That is something that will definitely need to be addressed prior to release. We're working with Unreal Engine, and they have released a lot of good stuff for that. But yes, we definitely need to look into that more.
Anyone else? No? If not, then thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
And we are moving on. The next person who is doing the pitch is Mārtiņš Runkulis. So tell your platform and then tell me when you're ready.
Yes. So, PC. But it could be more. So, all right, I begin my pitch. So, hello everyone, my name is Mārtiņš Runkulis, you can call me just Martin, and I'm here to pitch my game. Oh, remote, there we go. Yeah, so a little about us. So we're called Emberdrop. We're a small team of 3 people currently, and we're based all over the world, and we're working this as a hobby project, and it was established as a legit company in 2018. And we already have some sales on Steam, which I'll talk about a bit later. Market opportunity. This is a very business-oriented. Since I don't have much time, I'm going to skip over a bit. And I'll jump into the game itself real quick. So the game is 3 first-person action-adventure story-driven indie horror game. And in a game's pitch, it is a... in it, you play as a brain-damaged patient suffering from memory loss and hallucinations. Racing against time, you must overcome and harmful hallucinations to fall asleep, and relive the patient's mysterious past through his dreams. And it's made in Unity 3 game engine. Already it's available as an early access title on Steam, and currently we have developed about 65%, and of that 65%, it's already available on Steam. So the game is divided in 6 segments or 6 nights, and each night consists of 2 phases. The first phase is the sleeping phase, where you have to kind of race against time, manage your stress, and fall asleep. And since you're playing as a patient who has survived a horrific event, you're also suffering from hallucinations, which make the sleeping phase quite a bit more challenging and harder than it seems. And once you successfully fall asleep, you experience the dreaming phase, where you relive the events that led up to the horrific accident. I'm gonna skip this a bit. So what has the game already achieved? So back in 2018, when we released our first beta, it got picked up by some people like Markiplier and PewDiePie with, respectable follower amounts. And recently, in 2020, it has managed to sustain its popularity and was played by people like Game Theory and Jacksepticeye. So this proves its sustainability in popularity. And I'm gonna skip this a bit. And so how it's been doing in early access, as you can see, people are loving it, recommending it, and we've achieved already very positive reviews. And I'm gonna skip this, since I don't have any much time. If you're interested about these, you can ask me in the questions. And for now, that's it. Thank you. So if you want more details, you can freely ask.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? That's either a good sign or a bad sign.
I would like to ask, if you don't mind. Hello.
Hello.
You said that your game is now recognizable by YouTubers, right? So basically you generate some revenue with the help of YouTubers, so the monetization works this way?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. So basically you said that your game is now recognized by YouTubers, right? And do you generate any revenue with the help of that?
Yes, of course. I think partially why our early access has been a relative success is thanks to these YouTubers, who pick up and play our game. The reason why is we don't really focus on marketing. Our main priority is building and finishing the game. So we only do marketing when we, are about to release content, and then we do a trailer. And YouTubers help a lot because they provide the word of mouth marketing. Basically, if a product is good, they will suggest it to other people. And big YouTubers have played it, and have shared a positive, reaction to it, and that of course helps, not only bring the game to more people, but they realize it's actually good. At least we hope so.
Did you pay these influencers to play a game?
Nope.
Okay. Second is, it's less of a question and more of a concern, is that you've already had these influencers play the game, and you already sold the game. So what's the angle of trying to get a publisher to now go in and publish afterwards?
Yeah, so actually I'd say it's more of a positive thing, because first of all, a lot of these big YouTubers play the game when it was in early stages, like in beta, and now it's more developed, of course. And of course, also these big YouTubers have shared an interest in revisiting the game, so that could reunite the marketing machine, of course. And the question about already reaching 65%, if there's going to be, market for that. I think, I've said this many times to people who have visited our stand, there is some stigma against early access, and people are kind of holding back because, you're selling an unfinished product, and therefore you're kind of questioning, should I, invest my 15 euros in this, or should I wait? And most people wait, of course, because they want the full game. And that's what we're also kind of hoping for, is that people are waiting for the full release. So the real success of the game will be at, when we release the full version. The early access only gives like a slight idea of the success, and also proves that our concept can work.
How many wishlist subscribers you got?
I'm not going to be able to answer that because I haven't looked at the statistics, but it's a few 10,000s. So pretty good. And of course, we're mainly interested in publishers who could, help us out with marketing, doing actual marketing rather than just relying on word of mouth. And basically, we need the push to finish the last 40-ish% of the game. And that's also help us to, work on this project full-time, so we can spend more time on it, therefore reducing the production time and also increasing quality. That's what we're kind of looking for.
So if no more questions, then thank you so much for your presentation. And we have arrived to our very last pitch, and this pitch is from Rodion Zanevich. Is he here? Yes, he is here. So tell me your, platform and and tell me when you're ready to start.
I think someone forgot the phone. No?
Probably.
Yeah, it's fine. I was waiting to the end of
Oh, no, you can have it.
Nice phone. Yeah. I won't be telling alone. My platform is like a physical world. It doesn't need electricity. Hi, my name is Rodion, and I'm a designer and inventor of the only building kit you can hug. The name is Knop. It works. As a designer, I like to experiment and search for the new shapes and forms. And with this building kit, I wanted to channel the freedom which you can achieve when playing with a simple piece of clay, which can't be, this experience can't be achieved with other building kits made of plastic, wood, and metal. So Knop is a soft, flexible construction set made of felt materials and connected with the snap buttons. Yeah, and I wanted to be practical and safe. This building kit, so that's why the pieces are made from the hypoallergenic felt material. It is lightweight, flexible, durable, so you can throw it, you can step on it, and so it won't harm anything in comparison with the plastical pieces, for example. And and you play it everywhere, outside, inside, or while traveling, for example. And this is characteristics which I told about now, and we use the completely simple geometry and harmonious colors with a quite like a small color palette, and all products fall into 3 categories: animal, gadgets, and transport. And currently we have developed like 10 sets. and different models can be built from each set using printed instruction in the package and also in the video instructions on our YouTube channel. Basically your possibility is only your limit is only your imagination. For example, you can build even a dinosaur, and the package we have like files from large to small. We also managed to test our building kit in different schools and with different teachers and doctors, and we also test with these toys with the children with different possibilities, and these tests shown promising signs of increasing cognitive and motor ability, abstract independent thinking, and overall positive emotions. So basically Klopnop combines the power of a toy construction set with the softness of a child favorite stuffed animal. A few more important information. So we have an invention patent in a few countries, we just launched in April this year in Europe and in US, and that's it. So thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much. Questions? You can ask a question if no publishers are speaking.
What is the price of the set?
For example, this giraffe costs $35.99. This is the set which goes in the box number 3. But the starting price, we have the smallest box, $18.99. And the bigger goes with the $55.99.
Maybe I'm being old, but what makes it a game?
A game? It's like building. Every building kit is a game. So, for example, you can make a different character or make a fashion accessories. So it's like a building game. It's like if we're looking something in the mobile platforms, maybe Minecraft is a good example of the mobile PC construction set.
Okay, if that is no more for questions, then that was our last presenter. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is it for the publisher pitch.